What up, folks? It's your pal, Coach Vino, and this is the Glass Half Full podcast where we turn setbacks into comebacks. Let's go.
Yo, 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 everybody goes through setbacks, but don't let these setbacks make you take a step back. Step back from the situation, put your brush down, envision the picture you're faith in, because everybody goes through setbacks.
All right. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Coach Vino, the people's bartender, and your certified coach from the Boogie Down Bronx. So I hope everybody's well since the last time we hung out. I'm doing absolutely fantastic. And today I want to talk about something that I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it nearly enough. Maybe is that or they just don't respect it enough. And that is determination. Okay. And I'm not talking about like motivation. I'm not talking about talent. I'm not talking about luck. I'm talking about straight up determination. Because there's one thing that I have learned watching people succeed, watching people struggle, restart, and then rebuild. It's this one thing. Never underestimate the power of determination. Because determination is not flashy, right? It doesn't really kind of put on a big show for people. It doesn't look good on social media, as the kids would say. Determination is quiet. It's stubborn. And most of the time, honestly, it's invisible. It goes unseen. And I think that's why people overlook it. Because we live in a world that just loves people that have great natural ability. We're always praising the prodigies and the overnight success stories. We love these ideas of people that are just built different. Let me tell you something. The people who actually get where they want to go, they're rarely the most gifted people in the room. Okay? Who it is? Who is it? It's the people who refuse to quit. Determination is what shows up when motivation disappears. Because remember something else, and as much as I love motivation, and it's something that I try to always offer people, motivation is emotional. Motivation is tied to the way you feel at any moment. But determination, that's different. Determination is a decision. It's saying that I'm going to do this particular thing whether I feel like it or not. And that's where it separates from motivation. That's where it separates from inspiration. That's where it separates from talent. A lot of people, they could start strong. They're excited. They're inspired. They're all in it for about a week. It's like January at the gym, right? Then life shows up and they get tired. They get bored. They get discouraged. They don't see the results fast enough. And that is where most people stop. And it's not because they couldn't do it. It's because they didn't want to do it anymore. But determination says, no, I'm sticking this out. I'm staying. I'm staying through this, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when nobody's praising or clapping, even when progress is slow and quiet. See, this is the part that really messes with people. Because determination doesn't always feel like confidence. Sometimes determination feels more like doubt. But you still show up anyway, even with all that doubt. Sometimes it feels like fear, and you're like, oh man, I feel like I need to step away. But instead of stepping away, you step forward anyway. Sometimes it feels like exhaustion. And no matter how tired you are, you still keep going anyway. That's the power of determination. Okay? Determination isn't like loud confidence. It's actually quiet persistence. And over time, that persistence, that quiet persistence, it starts to compound. And all of a sudden at the gym, you're doing one extra rep. You're looking for work and you fill out one more application. You have one more uncomfortable conversation. You attempt failure after failure. And individually, all those attempts, they don't look like much. But when you stack them up over months, over years, that's how life changes. Because you don't need to be the smartest. You don't need to be the most charismatic. Okay? You don't have to have the perfect plan. You need to be willing to keep going longer than most people are comfortable with. When most people are like, I don't know about this anymore, you keep going. And I'm going to say this very clearly to you. Determination doesn't mean that you don't doubt yourself. It just means that you don't let the doubt make decisions for you. Okay? That's a big difference. Because everyone doubts. I doubt all the time. And everyone questions themselves. I question myself all the time. We all have moments where we think that maybe this isn't for me. Determined people, they feel like that. But they keep moving anyway. That's why determination scares people who don't have determination. Because you can't negotiate with someone who's determined. You can't talk someone out of something if they're determined to do it. You can't discourage them. You can't outweight them. Because someone with determination, they'll outlast you. And that's why determination often wins against talent. Because people with talent, they expect things to come easy to them. But people with determination, they expect resistance. They expect it to be hard. So when resistance starts to show itself, talented people, they start going, oh, what the hell is this? And they might just give up. But people with determination, they get to work. They get to moving. And understand, this isn't about grinding yourself to the ground. I'm not a big fan of that. The grind. Because determination doesn't mean to be reckless and hurt yourself. It just means to be committed. It means adjusting when something isn't working instead of just quitting altogether. And it means taking breaks instead of giving up. And it means resting without surrendering. Because some of you listening right now might think that you've failed. Let me just reframe that for you guys. If you're still trying, right? If you're still learning, if you're still showing up in any capacity, that you haven't failed, you're just in the middle of it. And the middle is where your determination matters the most. Because in the beginning, we're hyped. And at the end, we've achieved our goals. But the middle's tough. The middle is lonely. There's no guarantees. There's no applause. I mean, you don't even know what the timeline is sometimes. It's just you and your decision to keep on going. And like I said, that is where most people, talented or not, bow out. So if you're in that phase right now, working on something quietly, trying to, better yourself, building something that hasn't paid off yet, Coach Vino wants to tell you this. Don't underestimate what you're doing. Okay? You are stacking the proof, the receipts. You are building your resilience. You are becoming someone who finishes. And that matters more than you realize. Determination doesn't promise you an easy path. What it does promise you is a possible one. And look, and in a world, full of people who are waiting to feel ready, to feel confident, waiting for that perfect moment. The determined person, the person with determination, they're already halfway there. You're halfway there. So keep going. Even if it's slow, even if it's messy, even if you're not quite sure how it's going to work out. Because let me tell you this, determination has a funny way of turning maybe into momentum. And that momentum into results. So I stress to you, never underestimate the power of someone who refuses to stop. And let that someone be you. You got this. Well, that's all I got for you folks. If you enjoyed today's podcast, I'd appreciate if you left someone, or left me, not someone, a review, so you can help Coach Vino feed the hungry algorithm. If you or someone you know might want to work with Coach Vino, that was the someone I was thinking of, you can visit my website, coachvinollc.com. You can also follow the podcast on social media, where I share more of my thoughts in bite sizes. And it gives me an opportunity to directly interact with you guys. And hopefully that's you. So I'm everywhere at Coach Vino Podcast. And remember, folks, if nobody else tells you, Coach Vino appreciate you. Cheers.
I find it hard to reveal these thoughts and express what I'm feeling in a hip-hop form. But I was born to succeed, so as long as I breathe, ain't nobody on this earth gonna crush my dreams. Yo, this might be the end of the verse, but this is just the start of a new beginning. Word.